This weekend, West Virginia was struck by a devastating flash flood, a disaster that arrived with little warning and left a trail of heartbreak in its wake. What began as a typical summer rainstorm quickly transformed into a catastrophe, as relentless downpours battered the Appalachian hills and valleys. In a matter of minutes, entire communities were overwhelmed. Streets became rivers, homes were swallowed by rising water, and lives were changed forever. At least 6 people have died, including a 3-year-old child, and others remain missing. The loss is almost too much to bear, and the pain is felt in every corner of these tight-knit towns. Rescue teams are still searching, braving dangerous currents and debris, determined to find those who are unaccounted for and bring them home. Meanwhile, families wait in anguish for news, clinging to hope as they gather in shelters and community centers, supporting one another through the uncertainty. Every number is a person, a family, a community in mourning. Behind each statistic is a story of love, loss, and resilience. This wasn't a hurricane with days of warning. It was a sudden, violent surge in the dead of night, catching many off guard as they slept. Lifelong residents say they've never seen anything like it. Generations who have weathered countless storms are now facing devastation on a scale they never imagined. Water rose so quickly, many were trapped in their homes, unable to escape. Some waited for hours on rooftops, signaling desperately for help as the floodwaters surged below. The same storm system lingers, threatening more rain and more flooding. Rivers remain swollen, and the ground is saturated, leaving the region on edge. Governor Patrick Morrisey has declared a state of emergency, focusing all efforts on search and rescue. The National Guard has been mobilized, and emergency crews are working around the clock. The pain in Ohio and Marion counties is deep, but so is the resilience. Volunteers and neighbors are already stepping up, cleaning debris and distributing supplies to those in need. Neighbors are helping neighbors, even as the crisis continues. Acts of kindness and courage shine through the darkness, reminding everyone that they are not alone. This is a moment of profound crisis and of extraordinary community strength. In the face of unimaginable sorrow, the people of West Virginia are standing together. For West Virginia, the struggle is far from over. But in every act of compassion and every effort to rebuild, hope endures. To truly grasp the scale of what happened that night, consider this. In Ohio County, 4 inches of rain fell in just 30 minutes, pounding the streets and rooftops with a force rarely seen. That's more than a month's worth of rain, all at once, overwhelming every drain, ditch, and creek in its path. The ground was already saturated from previous storms, so it couldn't absorb a single drop more. Runoff was instant, and the results were catastrophic. Wheeling Creek, usually a gentle stream, rose 7 feet in under 2 hours, transforming into a raging torrent that tore through neighborhoods. Residents barely had time to react. The water surged with terrifying speed, swallowing streets and yards before anyone could fully comprehend what was happening. The storm stalled over the region, dumping relentless rain on steep hills and narrow valleys, with nowhere for the water to go but down. West Virginia's rugged geography funneled water straight into towns and homes, turning peaceful neighborhoods into deadly traps in a matter of minutes. Imagine preparing for bed, the world outside calm, then suddenly seeing your backyard transform into a raging river, water rising with every passing second. Families had only minutes, sometimes just seconds, to make life-altering decisions, whether to grab the kids and run or try to save precious belongings. For many, the only option was to scoop up their children and flee into the night, hoping to outrun the water. Others frantically tried to save what they could: family photos, important documents, anything that could be carried to safety. But for some, there was no choice at all. The water came too fast, trapping them inside as it rose higher and higher. Hundreds were stranded, forced to wait for rescue in the darkness, as emergency responders braved the floodwaters to reach them. Forecasters had predicted rain, but no one expected this level of intensity or the speed at which disaster would strike. The unique terrain of the region only amplified the danger, channeling water into vulnerable communities and multiplying the devastation. This was a textbook flash flood, sudden, violent, and utterly devastating, leaving little time for warning or escape. The human toll is immense, with families forced to make impossible choices in the face of overwhelming danger and loss. The reality is, no one was truly prepared for the chaos that hit that night. Nature's fury caught everyone off guard. The storm's speed and power left little room for escape, sweeping away cars, possessions, and the sense of safety people once had. It's a tragedy that unfolded in minutes, but its scars on homes, families, and entire communities will last for years to come. The aftermath is staggering. Roads vanished, homes destroyed, lives upended. In Fairmont, an apartment building collapsed as its foundation washed away. First responders braved dangerous conditions to rescue residents from crumbling structures. Cars were swept away, mobile homes carried off by floodwaters. Some even caught fire. Families lost everything: furniture, photos, their sense of security. The flood left behind toxic sludge and heartbreak. Amid chaos, heroes emerged. Emergency crews conducted at least 19 swift water rescues. Neighbors used boats to check on the elderly and shelter the displaced. Power outages affected thousands, compounding the misery. Officials are racing to restore services, but the damage is extensive. The focus now: find the missing, shelter the displaced, and provide clean water and food. Recovery will be long, but the community's spirit endures. Flash floods are deadly because they strike with almost no warning. Unlike slow-rising river floods, flash floods can begin within minutes of heavy rain. In West Virginia, the water rushed down steep hillsides, funneled into narrow valleys. 4 inches of rain in 30 minutes created a wall of water, sweeping away everything in its path. The region's terrain, steep mountains and tight hollows, amplified the danger. Water surged into creeks and rivers, swelling them in minutes. Even areas not directly under the storm were at risk from surges upstream. A calm creek could become a torrent in moments. Heed weather alerts and know your surroundings. Danger can arrive unseen and fast. In Appalachia, beauty and risk go hand in hand. What made this storm so severe? A stalled low-pressure system sat over West Virginia, supercharged with moisture. The air held 170% more water vapor than normal for June. As this moisture-laden air rose over the mountains, it cooled and dumped torrential rain. This orographic lift, common in mountainous regions, was amplified by the sheer amount of moisture. The storm didn't move, it spun in place, dumping rain for hours. Forecasters expected rain, but not this magnitude. The system pulled in tropical moisture, acting like an atmospheric fire hose. The result, a historic, catastrophic flood. It's a stark reminder of how complex and powerful our atmosphere can be. Scientists will study this event for years to better predict future disasters. The roots of this disaster reach high into the atmosphere and months back in time. Meteorologists link the stalled storm to a collapse of the polar vortex in March. This event disrupted the jet stream, creating a wavy, blocked pattern over the east coast. The result? The storm system stalled, pulling in deep tropical moisture. It's a powerful example of how changes in the Arctic can trigger extreme weather far away. As the Arctic warms, these disruptions become more common, making weather more volatile. Our climate system is growing less predictable and more dangerous. West Virginia's flood is part of a troubling national trend. Extreme rainfall is becoming more frequent and intense. A warmer atmosphere holds more moisture, fueling heavier downpours and severe flooding. Catastrophic floods are happening across the country, not just in Appalachia. Our infrastructure and communities, often built in floodplains, are increasingly vulnerable. Paved surfaces and aging dams worsen the risk. The tragedy in West Virginia is a wake-up call. No community is immune. We must rethink how we build, invest in resilience, and update flood maps. This is a national story demanding a national response. We all live in a new climate reality. In this new era of unpredictable weather, knowing how to respond to floods is more important than ever. Floods can strike with little warning, and being prepared can make all the difference for you and your loved ones. If you're in a flood-prone area and heavy rain begins, don't hesitate. Move to higher ground immediately. Waiting to see water can put you in serious danger, as floods can rise faster than you expect. Make sure your family has a clear plan. Know your evacuation route ahead of time and keep a go bag packed with essentials like water, food, medications, and important documents. Practicing your plan can help everyone stay calm in an emergency. Never attempt to drive through flooded roads. Even a foot of moving water can sweep away a car, putting you and rescuers at risk. Always find an alternate route or wait until it's safe. Remember, "Turn around, don't drown" isn't just a slogan. It's life-saving advice that could prevent tragedy. If you become trapped at home, move to the highest level or the roof and signal for help. Never stay in a closed attic as rising water can trap you inside. Make yourself visible to rescuers with bright clothing or a flashlight. Stay informed by paying close attention to official alerts. Invest in a weather radio, sign up for emergency notifications, and keep your phone charged so you don't miss critical updates. After the flood, be extremely cautious. Floodwaters may be contaminated with sewage or chemicals, and hidden hazards like sharp debris or downed power lines can cause serious injury. Don't re-enter your home until authorities confirm it's safe. Structural damage and lingering hazards can make returning too soon very dangerous. Remember, flood dangers can persist long after the rain has stopped. Stay alert for changing conditions and follow all safety instructions from officials. Preparation and caution truly save lives. Take time to practice emergency drills and learn from local experts about flood safety. Take these steps seriously. They could mean the difference between life and death for you and your community. Your best defense against flooding is readiness, awareness, and a commitment to safety. Stay prepared, stay informed, and protect what matters most. As the waters recede, West Virginia faces a long, painful recovery. Now is the time for national compassion. Support charities, thank first responders, and help however you can. This tragedy is a call to action. Demand resilient infrastructure, better warning systems, and community preparedness. Reflect on your own emergency plans. Extreme weather is everyone's risk now. Let West Virginia's heartbreak inspire action in every home and community. Hold the victims in your thoughts, especially those who lost loved ones. Their spirit is strong, but they need our support to rebuild. Let's stand with them.